Hi, this is episode 19 of Primetime Wrestling UK. Just trying to remember the name, trying to get used to it. This week we're going to talk about results of Hell in a Cell. I've not had the time to really do that so far. My cat's invading my chair. Anyway, we're also going to talk about the UK tour that's just started tonight. Also about some of the signings that will be happening. Stewie. We have a cat on our show. Anyway, I think we'll talk about the tour first before we get to Hell in a Cell, since that's happening right now. The first show is tonight in Belfast, and I'm going to get some people to send me some reports on the show so I can talk about it on the show, plus on my Facebook group as well. Tonight is Belfast, and then they move on to Dublin. Then Glasgow, Birmingham, then they're back to Glasgow for a second show. Cardiff, then on to Manchester for the tapings. Then they're on to Newcastle, Nottingham, Leeds, and then London next Friday, which we're going to. And then finish off in Minehead before going back to America. There's also some signings going on. I think today there was, in Belfast, was Kofi Kingston. So I saw Chris Vince tweet about he gave Kofi what was the magazine?
He-Man comic.
He-Man comic. Which is quite cool. There's some signings happening in the Smiths. Is it Smiths? How do you say it? Is it Smythes or Smiths?
Smythes.
Is it Smythes, is it? I keep saying Smiths or
say
Smiths.
Smiths.
Yeah, but it's not W.A. Smiths, it's Smythes Toy Shop or something. I think that's how you say it. You know what I'm talking about anyway. On Wednesday, that was today's one actually. Boucher Road was Kofi Kingston, which was today at midday. Stewie, get off my back. He's slinging on my back now. Sunday is Sunday 10th at 1 PM. It was meant to be Daniel Bryan and Natalya in Cardiff, but it's now Big E and Natalya because Daniel Bryan's moved shows and is basically in London now and a few other different places. Tuesday the 12th at Wall's End, I think I said that right, is Dolph Ziggler at 2 PM. And on the 15th is Kane at Charlton, which is very close to the O2 Arena. That's at 2 PM, which we're going to. We've already got our tickets for them. Basically all them, you can get the first 200 are handed out beforehand at the shops. You can't order them online or anything like that. You have to go to the shop and get them, and then there'll be another 200 handed out on the day. Whether they'll need 400 for some of them or not is another thing. But yeah, we'll be going to the Kane one, a few of us.
They'll be all suited and booted.
Yeah, Corporate Kane, as you would have seen on Raw. He's now corporate in a suit, which is different for Kane, but he needed something different anyway. Toys R Us also have some signings. One was today as well. Belfast at 4 o'clock was with Santino Marella. I wouldn't have thought they had 400 for that somehow. Maybe 150, 200s, but they're saying no photos with the wrestlers because they're panicking there's going to be a huge amount of people there. But when some of them are midday or 2 PM during the week, when most kids are at school if they're not bunking, or adults are working, so you're not going to get packed out for that time of day during the week. It's not like it's a holiday period or anything. But as usual, staff panic thinking, we've got a certain amount of time, we've got to hurry through it, which is just rubbish. But what I advise is if they are awkward about post photos, just get someone in the queue with you, whoever's next to you, to take a photo of you and Kane, or whoever you're meeting, while he's signing, so at least you're both in the photo, and you've got proof there that you met him and all that. It's better than nothing at all, or a blurred photo, as some people get sometimes at WrestleMania Access. On the 9th, what's the 9th, 6th, is it Saturday? Is that Saturday? Yeah, I think that's Saturday at Solihull. I can't even read my own writing. At 4:30 is Fandango and Summer Rae, which, I think any bloke that's going to that is probably going for Summer Rae. 13th in Nottingham is supposed to be Cody Rhodes and Goldust, but I'm not sure what the situation with that is at the moment, because they're no longer on the London show because they've switched to a few people. So I'm not sure whether they'll still be doing the signing or not. But for anyone that's going to London show, basically London show's got a whole lot better now. They've added AJ and Daniel Bryan to the show. Basically the card we've got for London so far is AJ, they've got CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, not against each other, versus the Wyatts, which I presume would be the two henchmen, not actually Bray himself, because I think he's not clear to wrestle yet. Cena versus Del Rio, which will just be a run-of-the-mill John Cena fights back at the end and suddenly wins sort of thing, I would imagine. Right, we've also got Ryback, R-Truth, 3MB, Curtis Axel, which was a doubt at one point because of a supposed injury, but I've been told he's all fine and that he's coming over. Justin Gabriel, which I didn't think they were going to bother bringing him over. Primetime Players, which I'm very happy about. So we get to do our dance as one big group now. The Bella Twins, of course, I can't forget them. And unfortunately, the downside is we have to put up with the Great Khali, which I've no doubt Chris, who's not on the show tonight, will be swearing at him as he comes to the ring, like he did last time, which was quite funny. He's basically telling him F off. It was like it was a football match or something. Stewie, will you move? Yeah, it's looking a whole lot better now that they've added AJ and Daniel Bryan, thank God. But yeah, I'm
just looking forward to doing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the show now. It should be good. And also get to hang around with a lot of our friends during the day. So, I'll be knackered by the end of it, but it's worth it. So yeah, if any of you are going to the shows and you want to send me your reports on the shows, just contact me either on Twitter and I'll talk about it on the show. My Twitter is CraigBWWE1. And just let me know if you want to send me your reports, and you can send me your email on or you can email me. I'll give you my email address on the DM, so you can send me that report. Anyway, now we move on to Hell in a Cell. I was going to do a show last week about this, but just didn't get round to doing it. Hell in a Cell was meant to have Curtis Axel against Big E, but that never happened due to apparently Curtis had injured both his hips. How true it was is another thing.
Because it was WWE who said about his hips, yet on Twitter he was like, who started it? Kind of thing. It was as if like he didn't know what was going on himself.
Yeah, but apparently he's all fine. I don't think he was injured. I think they just dropped the match because they don't seem to have continued that feud anymore, do they? So I think they dropped the whole feud really. So what did we get? What was the pre-show instead? Because they did add a few matches, didn't they?
No, I don't know when was it Natalia and something? It was
Natalia and the Great Khali, wasn't it? Against...
That was during it.
Oh, that was during the show. What was the pre-show? Do you remember?
No, it was Dean Ambrose versus... Wasn't it?
Oh, it was Ambrose against Big E, wasn't it? Because
yeah.
Big E, Ambrose challenged him during the...
No, Big E, I think, challenged him.
Yeah, that's right, because they were talking before on the pre-show bit, challenged him, and they basically had the match, which Big E did. How did that end? Was it DQ?
I can't remember.
Big E didn't win the title, but I think he won by DQ.
They got a mashed up eye though.
Yeah, nasty.
Or was it going... Oh, no,
both of them had nasty. Yeah, Dean Ambrose had a nasty cut on his chin, and Big E on just below his eye, which you can see was quite nasty. Still, you can wait to go up. Los Matadors versus the Real Americans, which unfortunately Los Matadors won. Now, I'm not nuts on the whole gimmick. They're trying to big them up like there's something new, but we all know they're Epcot and Primo, and they're getting over with some people, but it's not great. Can you let him out before he goes mental? I'll carry on. Yeah, I always enjoy watching the Real Americans. Great tag team, but unfortunately they do have a habit of losing a lot. AJ versus Brie Bella, which I don't know how many times they've fought now, but again, AJ won via submission, which I thought would happen. I know some people thought Brie might win, but she didn't, and yeah, AJ's still champion. Sorry, but if I keep looking up, it's because Arsenal's on at the moment. I'm getting a bit distracted by it. There was the match of the night again was Cody Rhodes, Goldust versus Shield and Usos, which Cody and Goldust won. It's again a very good match. CM Punk versus Ryback and Heyman. Heyman didn't actually get involved in the match at all.
That's stupid.
Yeah, he was above the cage the whole time. Basically, Punk won via pinfall, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because I got a bit tired during that period and actually nodded off.
But it was good when he got up on top of the cage.
He climbed on top of the cage and basically
and
gave Heyman a whipping, yeah, basically. Del Rio versus John Cena, which John Cena won by pinfall. I think a lot of people like me were expecting Sandow to cash in on him because of the fact of his arm injury and all that, but he didn't.
Everyone knew that Cena was going to win.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Sandow decided to cash in the next night, and to a lot of people's disappointment, lost the match, which was very frustrating. Because I don't see how someone with one arm can beat you. I mean, actually, it's not realistic when it sometimes we're seeing. You can't FU someone with, or whatever he calls that move now, with one arm. They just push it beyond belief sometimes with Cena. But yeah, he's still champion, and Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan was the main event, which Randy Orton won by pinfall because of Shawn Michaels doing Sweet Chin music on Daniel Bryan, because of basically Daniel knocked out Triple H, so that was his friend, so he knocked him out basically, and Randy Orton won, which led to night after on Raw, where Daniel Bryan put Shawn Michaels in the crossface. Some people are speculating on whether Shawn will come out of retirement at WrestleMania fight Daniel Bryan, but I don't think Shawn would do a Ric Flair, to be honest.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, unless he was that desperate.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
But I'm be surprised.
I just don't think he would do a Ric Flair. Well, that was a different situation. He came out of retirement for Jay Lethal, which was just
wasn't
bizarre.
it that everyone backstage thought he was going to do it, but then he actually said no to people backstage because everyone thought he's in great shape?
Yeah, I know Shawn is in good shape, but I don't know, that's after everything with the retirement and all that, I just think they should leave it at that. If it was done for him that much, he should have held back on retiring. But there was also, earlier in the match, they added a couple of matches earlier on in the pay-per-view, which was Fandango and Summer Rae against Great Khali and Natalya, which Khali and Natalya won. It was, unfortunately, it was... No, sorry, they didn't, did they? It was the night after on the show. They actually, I was shocked. Yeah, Summer Rae pinned Natalya. Yeah, that's right. Because I was expecting it the other way round.
I think she's wrestling on tour as well, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think she is, but unfortunately she was lumbered with Great Khali, who's just a waste of time. But now, luckily, Tyson Kidd's back on Raw. Hopefully, they'll pull her away from Great Khali, and she'll be working with Tyson Kidd, which I think everyone wanted in the first place. Which is good to see, and yeah, it's good to see Tyson back on TV after... It's been over a year he's been out of that injury. I was starting to think he was never going to come back.
Well, considering wasn't he behind the mask? Him and Ricardo.
Yeah, on SmackDown the other week in the mask was
I bet that was
Tyson
tested
Ricardo.
I suppose.
Yeah, and also they had to shorten the wrestlers, didn't they, because of they're in Australia, wasn't it? Also in United Arab Emirates or something like that. But they were short on wrestlers, which is why they did it. It's a bit daft, but yeah, that's basically, it was a better pay-per-view than the previous two was, that's for sure. It's a decent enough show. I got pretty much most of my predictions right. I did quite well on that. But yeah, that was Hell in a Cell, and yeah, got the UK tour started tonight, which we're all looking forward to. Meeting Kane as well next week. Hopefully a few other wrestlers during the day. Yeah, that's basically it for today's show. Episode 9 of Primetime Wrestling UK. Again, if you want to send me your reports on any of the shows you go to, just contact me on Twitter, and I'll contact you via DM. It's Craig B WWE1 on Twitter. Okay, that's it for me and Smack for this week, and we'll probably be back after next week's show or something, 'cause then we can talk about that, or I'll do separate shows for the people's reports on the shows. Anyway, that's it for now. Speak to you soon. Bye.